Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My privilege to talk to you just as a matter of sorting out some detail. I'm not the CEO of Tech Innovation Agency. I've been asked to stand in and to discuss a little bit about what has been happening. One of the many things that's been happening at Tech Innovation Agency with regards to skills development on request of the GMs and Ms. Sanisha Munsami to my right here. I'm actually working in conjunction with an organization called Skillsbook International. And Skillsbook International, we thought would be a good idea to just tell you a little bit more about what we are doing apropos of what has been said and discussed here the last day and a half or so. Skillsbook, ladies and gentlemen, is a skills repository. We've all been talking and hearing about tracking, about how do we actually build systems, how do we digitize learner information, etc. It is the year 2015 and we don't really have much in terms of tracking what learners did in the year 2000, 2001, etc. So if we really want to know what was the result and where the people are that studied contact center level 2 in 2004 or new venture creation in 2006 in terms of learnerships or any other form of education, we don't really know. And with the assistance of the Technology Innovation Agency, we started a couple of years ago on building the skills repository. Now, the best way I can describe Skillsbook is to tell you, imagine that file. Remember that file, that lever arch file that you have, that you keep your matric certificate in. Do you know that file? Do you know where it is? That file that gets lost when you move, okay? And that same file where you were supposed to keep your job description and your reference letters and stuff dating back from school days when you had some stuff from the local church minister that said you were a great student over the weekend, etc., when you all went away. You know, that file, which you think, gee whiz, I wish I knew where that file was because there's so much evidence in there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Skillsbook per se for the individual gives you that file. It is your own personal skills repository. And what you do on Skillsbook is you literally compile and you pile in all of your certificates, your reference letters, and all of the above into your skills book. But now, here is where the beauty of the issue comes into play. Part and parcel of the applications on Skillsbook is the CV generator. Gone are the days in which you have to go and pay somebody $50 to go and put together a CV for you. There's also a personal development plan generator on Skillsbook, which allows you to literally plan your career in the next couple of years. What is it that you want to study? What is it that you want to do? Part and parcel of this is that if your employer is a participant in Skillsbook on the what we call Sigma 7 platform or dashboard, it means that as an employer you can now load 1,000, 2,000, 20,000, whatever the case might be, 100,000 of your employees and give them each a Skillsbook account. But now it becomes really interesting because what happens next, ladies and gentlemen, is that the organization can now start to build the strategic plan on the Sigma platform, which rests on the Skillsbook application. And from there onwards, we can identify and populate job descriptions, and not just ordinary job descriptions that can be OFO aligned, job descriptions that are normative, job descriptions that can be populated using unit standards, if you like. So these are all measurable, normative job descriptions. Together with this platform is also the performance management assessment tool. Now, imagine what the next step would be. You're going to do your performance management, and in your performance management, your performance gap is going to be highlighted. From your performance gap, we are now going to deduct the skills gap. So now you have one application in which you will see all of your skills repository, and your current performance in the workplace together with your skills gap. Enter the e-learning sites. Virtually any e-learning site can now plug into Skillsbook because it's a skills repository. And if it is an organization with its own skills programs or even in-house education that want to deliver that on Skillsbook, there is an e-learning platform. through which you can then deliver any form of training, be it accredited or unaccredited training, and it fills in the skills and performance gap accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, so what this enables you to do is literally to measure your milestones as a learner as you go along. You can have all sorts of things added to your skills book. Leave application, I just threw that in to demonstrate to you one of the additional applications that you can have. It's a complete integrated HR and human capital management app. You can have your calendar and your due sheets, which again is linked to your performance and your job performance. You can have your weekly objectives, which you can sign in and say, right, this is what I'm going to do this week. And all of this is again aligned to your competency, your job description, and so forth. Your personal development plan also comes hand in hand with a type of a vision board. I'm big on vision boards. I believe that if we can visualize it and you can find a picture to it, you can allow yourself to strive for it and to dream about it, you definitely do achieve it. In addition, personal development dashboard, you can also track that from time to time. There is a CPD instructor. We are already far down the road with the contact center management group in providing them with a platform to measure continuous professional development. You can load short courses onto the platform. You can monitor the CPD points. You can allocate points to events. You can allocate points to articles, read articles, written blogs, you name it. Anything that you could possibly think of in terms of skills development, we can quantify, we can measure it, we can store it. It goes into your skills book. Vision board, as I said, put it up on your vision board. There, what about nice car for you up there? You put that car up there, and who knows, in a couple of years, your mind literally aligns and you start producing and you behave differently, and before you know it, you got that sports car of your dreams. It also enables you to come up with a self-rating system so you can measure and progress as you go along. I think Ludwig's guys can use this very nicely in terms of the progression measurement and so on at universities and track literally where they are at any given point in time. I also want to talk to you about the short courses possibility. As I said, any employer can literally load, even if it's in-house type of training, product training, etc., you can load onto the short course platform. It works on the basis where the training material sits at one spot. There could be videos uploaded, there could be slides uploaded, there are questions, there are answers, and the system even does the certification automatically once you pass the assessment. So you can automate the entire process. However, we like to use it in a combination with face-to-face. We found that one of our pilot studies that we did in Verena, on the other side of Bronkhorstspruit, that it works the best if you actually have a tutor in front of the guys. They sit in a type of a lab, and as they do their assessments, they do them online with guided tutors and mentors as you deliver. The e-learning site, you can actually, it's written in such a way that accredited as well as unaccredited e-learning can be delivered. But our intention in Skills Book is not to be primarily an e-learning site, rather than to be a skills repository. So through the use of APIs, we prefer to actually partner with existing e-learning sites and to come up with a skills repository that will enable people to accumulate all of that skills. Ladies and gents, just think about it, what the wonderful application is here for recognition of prior learning. Imagine you have the ability to collect over 10, 20 years, collect all of the human capital, the skills, the normatively of what it is that you've achieved over the last 10 to 20 years. And you've got it all in one place. How much easier it would be to use that in a recognition of prior learning application. So much easier than having to now dig back and think, gee whiz, what did I do 20 years ago and how do I find that evidence? I also wanted to just chat to you with regards to one of the latest initiatives, the critical thinking skills, also driven by Tech Innovation Agency. The critical thinking skills is a project whereby we are looking specifically at creating critical thinking and more successful thinking for South Africans at large. We believe, in terms of this project, that If you find yourself at a place where you're not happy with your current reality, it is as a result of the way you think. And we can't escape that. I mean, there isn't a single one of you that can deny that this exact moment, what is it, 12:30 something, on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, we cannot deny that this is the sum total of everything that you have said and thought prior to this moment, because that is what brought you here. So if you're not happy with your current reality, you need to look at the process. And we are re-engineering that process of thinking. And our aim is to make South Africans aware of what it is that we are thinking, how we are thinking. Case in point is xenophobia. When xenophobia went down in South Africa, I was in the Far East, looking at how they were busy engineering the self-driving car. Interesting, isn't it? A day has 24 hours. In this part of the world, through national Wi-Fi systems, it will be delivered on various different levels. Any provider will be able to access it. There will be multiple points of access. One of the things we're investigating is that you would be able to access it through Wi-Fi when you're sitting in the back of a taxi. There will be a central database that will monitor national usage. There will be the ability to report on national progress and the potential to track impact downstreams. The timelines for success are normally quite long. We are already at this stage of the game. We were just talking this morning about how learnerships 10, 15 years downstream, now we're really starting to see the impact of it really delivering. Now those learners are really becoming serious contributors to the economy. It would have helped us a great deal if we knew this 10, 15 years ago, and I think we would have engineered our systems quite a bit differently and a lot more effectively had we known as to how we could track it and what we can do in terms of getting our success ratios where they are today. So ladies and gentlemen, that is really just a brief bird's eye view over the fact that tracking can happen. We were talking yesterday with the Kenneth Kaunda municipality, etc., in terms of the tracking there. All learnership programs, etc., can be tracked. You can have a database. It's all about data at the end of the day, and what you input is what you output. So they say in the business, garbage in, garbage out. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that was short and sweet enough, Peter.
That was fantastic.
Cool.